3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
How many times have you watched Mookilla Rajyathu? Most of us would answer countless times.
9, 10.
If you're a 90s kid, then Mookilla Rajyathu was a part of your childhood. We laughed then, through, and even now we are watching the same movie. Now, let me ask you something. Do you remember this shot from Mookilla Rajyathu? Well, I'm not sure if you do, because honestly, I have never seen it until I rewatched it from the credit scene to make this video. The pre-credit scenes are no new thing to us, especially after being exposed to series like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and so on. This one from our beloved 90s comedy is totally different from them. It's not setting the story world or the characters for us, but it is setting something else. In an interview published some time back, the screenwriter B. Jayachandran recalled this shot. It's almost like the filmmakers are handing us the key to the whole story. A laboratory being smashed, a clock spinning way too fast. It's a quiet announcement that the story will not obey the usual rules of logic, reason, or sanity. And as promised, the movie makes us root for the ones society labels as insane: Benny, Keshu, Krishnan, and Venu. We are not just watching them, we are with them. It's as if we too have broken out of a system built on order and discipline and are now free to wander in that unpredictable, chaotic world. In this video, I'm going to look at the evergreen Mookilla Rajyathu to see the narrative techniques the writers use to create something that hooks us even today after 30-something years of its release. So board with me on another 5:30 AM bus ride to Mookilla Rajyathu. When you first watch Mookilla Rajyathu, it feels absurd. 4 patients escape a mental hospital and try to make a normal living in the city filled with even more insanity. What follows is a chain of hilarious events. But upon examining closer, I feel the movie is much more than just being a mindless laughter machine. The film opens with a psychiatric hospital. But remember, this one exists in a place outside our logic and reason. The difference in logic is established in the very first scene of the movie. It is also the only one diagnosis in the movie. It's Venu's. His brother brings Venu to the doctor and explains his problem.
ഞങ്ങൾ 12 പ്രദേശത്താ. ഏറ്റവും ഇളയവനായവൻ. മാതൃകാ കുടുംബമാണല്ലോ. 11 പേരും ഗുസ്തിക്കാരാ. പക്ഷെ ഇവന് താല്പര്യം സംഗീതത്തിലാ. വേറെ ആരെങ്കിലും കാണിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടോ? ആദ്യമായിട്ടാ. ഇപ്പോഴാ ലേശം കൂടിയത്. വയലന്റ് ആകാറുണ്ടോ? അതില്ല. എപ്പോഴാ പഠിച്ചു തുടങ്ങുന്നത്? എന്ത്? സംഗീതം. നാളെ മുതൽ പഠിച്ചു തുടങ്ങാം. അല്ലേ ഡോക്ടറെ? ഡോക്ടറോ? സംഗീത കോളേജിൽ എന്തിനാ ഡോക്ടർ?
His passion doesn't suit his family. Venu loves to sing while his 11 brothers love wrestling. To this, the doctor immediately prescribes,
You take him to the shock room.
Being different is what's considered a psychiatric problem here in the movie universe. It's funny, but what makes it absurd is that it's super close to reality. Venu just wants to sing and sing. But he ends up behind the bars of a mental hospital because of that. His insanity may be exaggerated in the film, but if you look closer, Venu is a deeply relatable character to many, including me. Venu is forced to believe that he deserves to be there as well, but he's unapologetic about it. The case is the same with other inmates. They're all convinced by the world that they are insane, but the screenplay makes us empathize with them for the way they are treated by the doctor, the hospital staff, and their own family. And this, I think, is a fresh perspective. A lens in which we have never looked at the world before. We laughed at the insane for n number of times before, but this time the writer wants us to laugh with them. The biggest differentiating thing about this movie is this perspective. It's not a story world that exposes the character, but the other way around. And in other words, the world as we know it is the antagonist or the villain in this movie. If we take a step back and look at the core of the story, it's a perfect premise for a comedy of disproportions. The comedy of disproportions is a form of humor derived from a massive gap between two elements. It highlights absurdity by showcasing lopsided and imbalanced scenarios, where reactions are wildly out of proportion to actions. This is the basic setting to any absurd comedy. Just look at this scene, for example.
ഈ വിദേശ വസ്ത്രം എനിക്ക് ആവശ്യമില്ല. ഈ പാന്റ് ഇതും എനിക്ക് ആവശ്യമില്ല. നിങ്ങളുടെ മുമ്പിൽ വെറും ഒരു പച്ച മനുഷ്യനായി നിൽക്കാനാണ് എനിക്ക് ആഗ്രഹം. മഹാന്മാരുടെ ആദർശങ്ങൾ.
When the same people just keep speaking of the things to fix the world, Keshu chooses to act upon the thought. The out of proportion action creates this comedy. Stripping naked in public is an insane act, but Keshu somehow comes out as the honest one in the room.
വിദേശ വസ്ത്രം ബഹിഷ്കരിക്കുന്ന നാട്ടുകാരെ മുമ്പ് വെച്ചാ വല്ല കാര്യമുണ്ടോ? ഒരാവശ്യമില്ല അതിനകത്ത് കയറാൻ.
നിനക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവില്ല. എടാ, രാജ്യസ്നേഹം വേണം, അറിയോ?
And this truth that follows makes the joke even funnier. We can see the whole story works on this axis of disproportions. Within the setup of disproportions, the writers weaved in another kind of comic device to build on the story. It is the comedy of errors. Most of our favorite comedy scenes from this movie are of this kind. First, let's take this character intro scene at the hospital.
രാവിലെ ഗുളിക കഴിച്ചായിരുന്നോ? ചെറിയ കൈപ്പൊക്കെ കാണും. ഒരാഴ്ചയോടെ കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വീട്ടിൽ പോവാം.
Up until this point, we are convinced and absolutely sure that Keshu is a legit doctor. He walks, talks, and even carries himself like one. But then, this happened.
എണീറ്റ് നടക്കരുതെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളതല്ലേ? അവിടെ പോയി കിടക്ക്.
Using a narrative misdirection, we have been fooled by Keshu and the screenplay to which we laugh at. Misdirection is often used to build suspense, but here it's used repeatedly in the movie to set up comedy of errors. Watch this scene for instance. Here, Venu carefully guides his brother into the doctor's cabin. Everything about his tone and body language tells us Venu is a sane one. His brother is a patient. Even the doctor is convinced, but then the tables flip.
ആർക്കാ? ഇവനാ, വേണു, എന്റെ അനിയന.
Flawed judgments, that's the thread running through the whole film. Sometimes it's us, the audience, falling for the wrong assumptions. Sometimes it's the characters themselves. And sometimes it's the entire story world that misjudges its own people. Here, an entire crowd mistakes Keshu for an activist. Or this one, customers assume Krishnan as the bartender. He doesn't just correct them, he becomes the bartender. Like it's the most natural thing to do. Here, Krishnan thinks Leena is in love with him. Benny mistakes a random flat for his uncle's home. Leena mistakes the landlord's daughter for Benny's secret lover. And here, all four of them mistake two petty criminals for film producers. And then there are these mysterious characters, like the one played by Kunjan, who both we and Leena take for a police officer until we realize he's one of the robbers. Or Jagadish's character. First, he's just a clueless guy fooling around in a swimming pool. And by the end, he's one of the most bumbling policemen in the film. The movie is almost mocking us, asking, so how smart do you think you are? It's not saying our judgments are always wrong, but they're always incomplete. You can size someone up with all the logic in the world and still not know the whole story. In any movie, no matter how funny or exciting the plot is, if the character development is not done properly, it will fall flat. The makers of Mookilla Rajyathu understand this and gives us good character expositions too. The interesting part about this is that the expositions are not provided to us in a traditional way. Each one of the character backstories are presented in their own unique way. Venu's story is presented in a very straightforward way. Venu suffers from a do what you love syndrome in the eyes of the sane world. For Keshu, it's a sad story, presented as emotional as the way Keshu experiences it. We know how his family treats him. We get a clear picture of this when the family reacts to his choice of job. He's a loving father and a grandfather, but that's not a standard his daughter looks for to approve him as a father. The real insanity blamed on Keshu gets clearer here. He is no longer useful to his family. He cannot bring them pride or money anymore. And by looking closer at the character, we can read Keshu's mind is fighting this abandonment from his family by taking different personalities, hiding his backstory from himself. Sometimes by becoming a doctor, a millionaire, someone else's father. But when reality hits, he breaks down completely. I felt Benny's corrupted memory is both his superpower and his weakness. Just like his memory, the backstory just falls on us at places accidentally. A part of his past is revealed through Lena, his love interest. That's where we learn something in Benny's life shifted right after his college days.
സർപ്രൈസ്.
ലീന എന്താ ഇവിടെ?
കോളേജ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് എവിടെയായിരുന്നു? ഞാൻ എവിടെയൊക്കെ അന്വേഷിച്ചെന്നറിയോ?
ഞാൻ കുറച്ച് നാള് അല്ലല്ല അവിടെ അല്ലായിരുന്നു ഞാൻ.
എത്ര ലെറ്റേഴ്സ് വീട്ടിലേക്ക് അയച്ചു, ഒരു റെസ്പോൺസും ഇല്ല.
We also learned that Benny only has an uncle as his family. The movie gives us hints to his past. There is a scene where Krishnan and Venu discusses Benny's condition.
അത് ബസ് പറഞ്ഞപ്പോ അതിനകത്തുണ്ടായിരുന്ന പെണ്ണല്ലേ എല്ലാം മറന്നുപോയത്. അതൊക്കെ സിനിമയിൽ ഇന്നലെ.
And here, Venu casually refers to the movie Innale. Innale is a classic by Padmarajan where the story revolves around a girl who lost her memories after an accident. In another scene, Benny climbs up a coconut tree and suddenly sees a vision of a train accident in the future.
എന്ത് പറ്റി? ഏണി കൊണ്ടുവരണോ? ഞാൻ പ്രപഞ്ചത്തിന്റെ മറുവശം കാണുന്നു. വാട്ട്?
തലയിറക്കം വല്ലതും തോന്നുന്നുണ്ടോടാ?
ഇല്ല, ദീർഘദർശം. ട്രെയിൻ അപകടം.
This is a direct reference to another movie called Ayyar the Great, where the protagonist gains the ability to see the future. These could be well-placed references to tell us what could have happened to Benny. Would he have been a survivor of a tragedy like Ayyar the Great and ended up memoryless like Maya in Innale? The glitching memory probably is way off coping up with the reality. The movie begins by showing Krishnan getting a shock treatment. Unlike the other three, Krishnan does not care how the world works. He is bad at dealing with money and people. We see him being fooled by the attender at the hospital. Krishnan sees there is a lack of servants in a bar and he becomes one. And he thinks it's okay to drink without paying since he was providing a service. That too with absolute professionalism. Honestly, this is the best customer care I have ever seen in movie or reality.
സോഡ ഒഴിക്കണോ? ബിയറിന്റെ കൂടെ ആരെങ്കിലും സോഡ ഒഴിച്ചോളൂ. ബെസ്റ്റ് അല്ലേ?
What he seeks is what we all seek: love, a free life, and acceptance. He does not care about his past, so probably we shouldn't too. Malayalam saying Mookilla Rajyathu Murimukkan Rajavu loosely translate to, in a land where no one has a nose, the one with a broken nose becomes a king. It's a line soaked in satire. It's a way of saying sometimes leadership, power, or even success isn't about being exceptional. It's just about being slightly less broken than everyone else. Almost every character in Mookilla Rajyathu carries a certain amount of madness. And even though it's fiction, it's not too far away from reality.
Oh my god. Office കഴിഞ്ഞു പോയി. What a fool I am.
This film has been remembered as a slapstick comedy, a crazy, absurd entertainer. But at its core, I think Mookilla Rajyathu is a sharply written satire on the double standards we all live with.
നിങ്ങളെ ഭ്രാന്താശുപത്രിയിൽ എത്തിക്കേണ്ട ചുമതല എനിക്കുണ്ട്.
ഭ്രാന്താശുപത്രി വന്നാൽ ഞങ്ങളെ പൂട്ടിയിടും. ഇവിടെ ഭ്രാന്തന്മാരെ തുറന്നു വിട്ടിരിക്കല്ലേ, ഞങ്ങൾ ഇവരോടെ കഴിഞ്ഞോളാം.
And maybe that's also what this video became for me. Maybe I overanalyzed. Maybe I just stumbled around like the characters themselves. But I think that's fine because in a way, the process mirrored the movie itself. Stepping out of order, breaking the pattern, and finding meaning in the madness.